Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. This is, if you've been following along with us, this is our third deep dive in this
Okay.
series. And we have been, building on this framework, this understanding of inner awareness, right? How our inner world really shapes our outer experience. And so today we're going to take a deep dive. I'm so excited for this. We're going to take a deep dive straight into practical techniques for, manifesting your desires,
Yeah, yeah.
drawing from a source that I think um, it really shifts the focus,
hmm
from doing to being, which I think is really the core of all of this.
Absolutely, yeah. In this deep dive, we're really gonna, I like how you put that, moving beyond that surface level action
Yeah,
and really diving into what this text presents as the core engine of manifestation, which is a fundamental shift in your inner consciousness. Forget endless repetition of affirmations or complicated rituals. We're talking about transformation at the level of your awareness.
that's it. That's it. That's what this text is all about.
Yeah.
This source offers, I think, a unique and powerful perspective, suggesting that the secret to bringing your desires into reality isn't about what you do externally, but about a fundamental change within your own awareness.
That's right.
And so our mission today is to
Yeah.
unpack these core ideas, right?
Yeah.
Extract actionable insights, not just more things to do, but a different way of being, so you can consciously create the realities that you truly desire. So let's jump right in.
Yeah, let's get right to it. The text lays this foundational principle right at the start, centering around that powerful phrase, I am. And it states that I am represents your newly attained consciousness, the feeling of embodying your desire, that this is the active force in manifestation.
Yeah.
So it's not about some external power, but it's about your own awareness of being.
Right. And that's where I think it gets really interesting because the text is very firm about not getting bogged down on the how. Right. It says that this newly attained consciousness, this I am, has ways that, you know not of. Its ways are past finding out.
Right.
It even suggests that if you find yourself speculating about how your desire will manifest, it's proof that you haven't attained to the naturalness of being the thing desired.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so are filled with doubts. And so the crucial takeaway here is to be the feeling of your desire fulfilled rather than trying to mentally engineer how it will happen. The how is not your job.
Totally. Yeah. That's a critical distinction. This constant need to figure out the how, the logistics, the steps, it often stems from a place of not truly embodying the desired state. It's rooted in doubt. And the text addresses this directly when it emphasizes the role of unwavering faith.
Yeah. I mean, it's the foundation. That's the rock we're building on.
Right.
And it states it, very powerfully. He who lacks wisdom, let him ask of God. But let him ask not doubting, for he who doubts is as a wave of the sea that is tossed and battered by the winds. It's just such a vivid image
Right.
of instability. And let not such a one think that he shall receive anything from the Lord. So without that inner conviction, that feeling of already being or having what you desire, you lack the foundational consciousness for it to appear in your reality.
You're speaking to the truth there. That's exactly right. And how do we recognize when we've truly established this consciousness of having? The text offers a fascinating signpost for that: gratitude, and specifically the inner feeling expressed by "Thank you, Father."
Thank you, Father. Yes, yes. It's not, and this is important, it's not about mechanically repeating the words.
Right.
The text even clarifies. It says, thank you, Father is not, as it is used by many today, a sort of magical formula.
Yeah.
You never need to utter aloud the words, thank you, Father. The real power lies in that internal state of joyful acceptance, that deep, unwavering knowing that it is already done. Gratitude felt before you see the evidence with your physical senses.
Yeah. What's truly insightful here is the underlying principle.
Mhm.
God, your awareness is not mocked. You are ever receiving that which you are aware of being. So if you can genuinely cultivate that feeling of gratitude now for something you haven't yet physically experienced, it signifies that you have, on a fundamental level of consciousness, you've already accepted it as your reality.
Wow.
Your faith, that feeling of already possessing it, becomes the very substance that will manifest your desire.
So the text then introduces this concept of rising in consciousness, described as a spiritual marriage.
Yeah.
So can you help unpack that a little bit? What does that mean in this context?
Sure, sure. Think of this spiritual marriage as reaching a state of inner union with your desired reality. It's about becoming one with the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This ties into the idea of asking in my name, where name isn't a label, but the very nature of what you desire. So the text explains, "For whatsoever ye ask in my name, the same give I unto you." Name means nature. So when you ask in the nature of a thing, results ever follow. Essentially, it's about moving from, I wish I had X to I am X in your inner being.
I have that. Okay.
That feeling of being one with your desire, that's the marriage.
I see. I see. So it's not about the specific words you might say externally, like a repeated affirmation,
Right.
but about aligning your inner being, your consciousness, with the core essence of what you desire.
Yes.
It's about becoming one with that nature, feeling that alignment within.
Precisely. And this leads us directly to the powerful concept of believe that you receive. The text reframes praying not as begging or pleading with an external force, but as recognition, already acknowledging the desired state as your present reality. And a crucial point here is that believe that you receive is presented in the first person, present tense.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Okay, so it's not a future hope or a past longing.
Right.
It's about being in the consciousness of already having received it right now.
Yeah.
You have to inhabit that feeling, embody that state of being before the external manifestation can take form. So for you listening, what's one desire that you're currently holding?
Yeah.
And can you try to gently bring yourself into the feeling of already having it, even for a moment? And to further facilitate this inner shift, the text introduces a really interesting and perhaps unexpected practice, general amnesty and forgiveness,
That's right, yeah.
forgiving everyone. How does releasing others connect to manifesting our personal desires?
Well, the text explains that consciousness being God, if you hold in consciousness anything against man, you are binding that condition in your world. So essentially clinging to, negative feelings, resentment, judgment towards others keeps you anchored to a lower vibrational state of consciousness, hindering your ability to rise to the level of your desired reality.
So by consciously releasing those judgments and negative emotions towards others, you're not just doing them a favor, you're actually freeing yourself from those energetic ties.
Absolutely, yeah. To release man from all condemnation is to free yourself so that you may rise to any level necessary. And it goes on to emphasize, the text emphasizes, that law is never violated, and you can rest confidently in the knowledge that every man's conception of himself is going to be his reward. You don't need to hold on to those negative feelings or try to dictate outcomes for others because everyone is experiencing the reflections of their own inner world.
So we don't have to worry about other people.
Exactly.
I can just focus on ourselves.
Focus on yourself.
Now, the text also delves into this concept of tithing, but it presents, I think, a very different understanding than what might be traditionally taught.
Yeah, it offers a complete reframing. Instead of viewing tithing as giving a percentage of your income to an external entity, it declares, I am the Lord. Your awareness of being is the God that you give to and that you ever give in this manner.
Interesting. So when you consciously claim yourself to be something, whether it's wealthy, healthy, loved, you are, in essence, giving that quality to your own awareness,
Yeah.
to I am.
Exactly. Therefore, when you claim yourself to be anything, you have given that claim or quality to God, and your awareness of being will return to you with that quality or attribute which you claim for yourself.
Okay.
So it reinforces that earlier point about not needing to figure out how this will unfold,
Right.
but rather trusting that your inner claims will be reflected back to you in your experience.
Yeah. So again, it comes back to that faith. This really underscores the importance of consciously cultivating a self-concept that aligns with your desires. And the text goes on to highlight that these secret convictions of yourself hold immense power.
Yeah, it states that your secret convictions of yourself, these secret claims that no man knows of when really believed, will be shouted from the housetops in your world.
Wow.
These deeply held inner beliefs, the things you truly believe about yourself at your core, these are the words of the God within you, and they inevitably manifest in your external reality. It says, you are at this moment calling out of the infinite that which you are now conscious of being.
Wow. So this leads beautifully into this analogy of the vine and the branches.
Right.
Can you walk us through how that illustrates this principle?
Absolutely. The text uses this analogy to illuminate the crucial role of your attention in sustaining your reality. Consciousness is the vine, and those qualities which you are now conscious of being are as branches that you feed and keep alive. Your attention, where you consistently direct your mental energy, acts like the life-giving sap of the vine.
I see. So if we find ourselves constantly focusing on a problem, right, giving it our undivided attention, we are in effect nurturing it and keeping it active in our experience.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Just as a branch withers and dies if the sap of the vine ceases to flow towards it, so do things in your world pass away if you take your attention from them.
You take your attention away from them.
That's it, yeah. The key to dissolving a problem, therefore, isn't to fight against it endlessly, but to remove your attention from it. Become indifferent and begin to feel yourself to be that which would be the solution of the problem.
So the text then shares some, I think, really striking examples
Yeah.
of this in action.
Yeah.
Individuals in prison who felt themselves free, and the prison dissolving, those burdened by debt who suddenly experienced financial freedom, and even those with seemingly incurable illnesses who shifted their conscious focus to wellness and experienced healing.
Yeah, powerful.
Really emphasizes that transformative power of where we direct our attention.
Absolutely, it does. And this connects directly to the profound question, whom do you say that I am? Your conscious answer to this fundamental question, what you claim yourself to be at your core, ultimately shapes your entire experience. If you are consciously identified with feelings of limitation, imprisonment, sickness, poverty, that's what will continue to manifest.
But when we awaken to the understanding that I am is the very essence of what we seek, our freedom, our abundance, our health, and we claim that identity within our consciousness, that's when the shift begins.
Very good.
And the text, it says, claim I am he. In other words, claim yourself to be the thing desired. Claim it in consciousness, not in mere words. And consciousness will faithfully reflect your claim back to you.
It emphasizes the importance of feeling after the desired quality within your consciousness until it resonates as your natural state. And when you achieve that inner alignment, when you touch the being within by truly feeling yourself to be the desired state, it releases its inherent virtue, its power, which then manifests in the external world as your realized desire.
So it's about placing your belief in me, in your own awareness,
Right.
as the ultimate creative force,
Yay.
as the divine in action within your own life.
Yes.
And the text even encourages us. It says, begin to believe your awareness, your consciousness of being, to be God. Claim for yourself all the attributes that you have heretofore given an external God.
Right, because as the text so beautifully states, for I am not a God afar off. I am nearer than your hands and feet, nearer than your very breathing. I am your awareness of being.
Right.
It's not some, distant, unreachable deity. It's the very foundation of your existence, the ground of all being.
So that's why it says, except the Lord build a house, they labor in vain that build it.
Right.
Here the Lord symbolizes your consciousness, right?
That's right.
Whatever you desire to build in your external reality, it must first be firmly established within your inner world to manifest outwardly.
It must.
So faith in a higher power then is mirrored in your confidence in your own creative power.
That's right. And this leads to the crucial point of taking complete responsibility for your experience. The text is, it's unequivocal. No matter what happens to man in this world, it is never an accident. It occurs under the guidance of an exact and changeless law. External circumstances aren't random occurrences or caused by others. They are faithful reflections of your prevailing inner state of being.
So true.
It says, man has always blamed others for that which he is and will continue to do so until he find himself as cause of all.
Because I am comes not to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right.
Your awareness simply brings into your experience the conceptions you hold of yourself. And the text explains, a person who identifies as poor cannot experience wealth outwardly until they first claim and embody the feeling of being wealthy inwardly.
Yeah, you have to be it to see it. And this is why the principle is signs follow, they do not precede. You cannot wait for external circumstances to change before you decide to shift your consciousness. Your inner world is the primary cause, and the outer world is merely the effect, the reflection. Complaining endlessly about limitations while remaining in a consciousness of lack will only perpetuate those limitations.
Right, and that's why I think the story of the prodigal son, which is used here, is such a powerful analogy.
Right.
It's not a tale of punishment for past mistakes, but a story about recognizing your own role in creating undesirable conditions and making the conscious inner decision to rise to a higher level of awareness where abundance and fulfillment naturally await. And crucially, there's no condemnation awaiting once that inner shift occurs.
Right, there isn't. And it even says others will condemn us only as long as we continue in that for which we condemn ourselves. Once you claim your inherent worth, your inheritance, so to speak, and embody that higher consciousness of abundance, the external reflections will inevitably align with that inner reality.
So to bring this deep dive to a close, it's clear that manifesting your desires according to this profound text isn't about performing specific external actions or endlessly repeating affirmations.
Yeah.
It's about a fundamental transformation in your inner awareness, consciously embodying the feeling of your desired reality now. It hinges on unwavering faith in your own I am, a deep and genuine sense of gratitude felt in advance of external evidence, a commitment to releasing all judgment and practicing forgiveness, and a profound understanding that your own awareness is the creative power within you.
And it truly requires, a deep and honest look at your current self-concept and a conscious choice to embrace and embody the qualities you wish to experience in your reality. It's about recognizing that your inner world is the fertile ground from which all your outer experiences blossom.
So here's a final thought for you to really sit with.
Hmm.
If your current reality is truly a mirror reflecting your past conscious assumptions, what reality are you consciously choosing to assume and embody from this very moment forward?
That's a great question. Really gets you thinking.
It's a powerful question to contemplate.
Yeah,
So we really encourage you to take some time to reflect on these principles and observe how they resonate within your own life.
right.
The power to consciously create your desired reality, according to this perspective, resides within you, in the very depths of your own awareness.
It does.
So thank you for taking this deep dive with us, and until our next exploration, keep exploring the incredible power of your own I am.
I am.
I am.
Thank you.
Thank you.